Let's look at the birth of money into an economy, the introduction of money in general. I find it simplest to start by thinking of a small, simple economy, an island economy, 10 people living alone on an island. You can think of 10 families or 10 individuals. But for now, let's think of people. So there are 10 people. They're on this island. With just 10 people and a pretty small island, the way I drew it, each of those people goes out in the day and hunts or gathers. They probably all specialize in something a little different. They all go out at the end of the day or the end of the week. They get together. They pile all the stuff up in the middle of the island and split it up equally, in all likelihood. So that's pretty simple. Now, I'm not going to keep adding numbers, but as the number of people grows, and you add more and more people to this economy over time, it becomes harder and harder to find everybody and get them together and collect all the food and collect all the stuff and collect all the goods and share it out equally. So one of the things that emerges over time is people begin to trade. So instead of just collecting it all at the end of the day, maybe this person here goes and finds this person here, and they have fish and they have berries and they trade, right? So the first step is probably barter emerges. Well, that's fine, especially initially. Now everybody's walking around and they try and find each other and trade what they need. And maybe they don't, maybe whatever number 9 is getting, number 10 doesn't need every day, but they need it every other week. So they go find number 9 once or twice a month, and the rest of the time they go and meet the people who have the stuff that they need and they trade with them. So that works pretty well. As your economy grows, and I could make this bigger and bigger, but as more and more people show up, and it grows over time, and your society becomes more complicated, and the number of people grows and grows and grows, it gets more and more costly, increasing what we call the transaction costs. Those are literally the costs involved in making a transaction. So they are the costs of going and finding the person you want to trade with. They're the costs of negotiating with them. They're the costs of carrying all of your stuff that you want to barter and trading with them. So you'd have to carry a big knapsack full of whatever you collected that day and go and try and trade it with people. And you'd have to find the person who wants to trade with you, right? Maybe tomorrow number 10 goes and finds that person, and that person couldn't find the berries, so instead they got, I don't know, water. That's not what 10 needs. Now 10 has to go find whoever has berries. So the transaction costs of finding and matching up with the people you want to trade with goes up and up the more people there are and the more complex your production process and the number of goods becomes. Pretty quickly, a society develops money, and particularly as a medium of exchange. This is one of what they call the 3 functions of money. A medium of exchange and a store of value is the other one. A unit of account, how you account for everything. But it becomes a medium of exchange. And what that does is suddenly number 10 doesn't have to go searching all over to find out who needs his goods or her goods. Number 10 just has to sell his or her goods. In exchange, they get cash, and then they can use that cash to buy whatever they want. So maybe 10 shows up with his fish, and this woman here has berries, and they have to exchange berries for fish. But if this person doesn't want fish and he doesn't want berries, then they don't have a trade. Well, with cash, all of that's done. I don't have to trade with you the things you want. You always want cash because you can use that for anything. So as a result, 10 can just set up shop down here. They can set up another shop over here, and people can just go over there and trade and buy and sell. And sure enough, in history, you see the development of trading centers trying to solve these transaction costs of everybody finding each other. The next question we'll deal with is how much money should we then produce? We created it, but now how much should there be?